Hello.
There's been a lot of scrutiny around Gwyneth Paltrow's multi-million-dollar lifestyle and wellness company, Goop, but even more so lately with the questionable health claims peddled in her new Netflix series, The Goop Lab.
We spoke to experts in the science community who didn't hold back on critiquing what they suggest is Paltrow's version of science. Here are the top 3 claims made throughout the 6-episode series.
Number 1. The Wim Hof breathing technique can help you manage stress and anxiety. In episode 2 called Cold Comfort, we meet Wim Hof, also known as the Iceman, a Guinness World Record holder known for his ability to withstand freezing cold temperatures.
Wim Hof is a very, very interesting guy, and we know he's kind of an anomaly. He has weird body tissues and something to do with his genetics that are different from other people. They don't mention any of that in the show. They just tell us, look at this guy, a tremendous guy. He can teach you this breathing technique, and if you do that, here are the benefits that it can have on your health.
Throughout the episode, he teaches Goop employees his breathing techniques or controlled hyperventilation, and claims it could help them deal with things like anxiety, trauma, and boost their immune system.
Yeah, it's really interesting because people use ice when they have an injury, and now they have this growing trend called cryotherapy. In fact, there's no evidence to support that, and research suggests it's probably placebo theater, right? You have this extreme event happening, as you saw in the show, and this belief that something significant is occurring.
The Goop group eventually participates in snow yoga and jump into freezing cold water. The truth is, that was pretty dangerous.
Hyperventilating to the point that you have your fingers tingling and you feel euphoria, it's like you're not getting enough oxygen to your brain. But that was passed off as being enlightenment.
That's not enlightenment, she adds. That's injury.
Number 2. The fast mimicking diet can reverse your biological age. In episode 4 called The Health Span Plan, Paltrow and her team explore anti-aging regimens to calculate their biological age.
Wait, their what?
I have no idea what biological age is. To me, it sounds like a made-up concept.
I think at this point to suggest that you can tell something about someone's propensity to experience illness or to prematurely die based on these experiments, there's just not enough evidence there.
The Goop team also adopts different diets, including what's called the fast mimicking diet, where you trick your body into believing you're fasting, but you're actually eating low protein, low carb, and high fat meals.
So there's been a lot of discussion around fasting, and there actually has been real research on it. Now, is it going to reverse your aging? Is fasting going to reverse your aging? Again, I think we need to be careful not to overinterpret what's going on in the science. I call this science-ploitation, right? You take a little bit of science, a little bit of exciting real science, and you twist it in order to make it sound like you've got the new cure-all. And that happens all the time, and I think that's what's happening here.
Perhaps one of the most disturbing scenes in the show is when Gwyneth gets what is called a vampire facial, an anti-aging blood-sucking treatment that they claim rejuvenates the skin.
It's a form of PRP, platelet-rich plasma therapy, and it really is supposed to be an anti-aging strategy. And again, real science there, so what they're trying to do is exploit the whole regenerative medicine movement, the PRP movement, in order to market something, but there really isn't good clinical data to support the claims that are made here.
And finally, number 3. Energy healing can help with mental health issues. We're introduced to John Amrell. He's a chiropractor, so doesn't actually have an MD.
I had an exorcism.
He claims to influence how energy moves through the body by manipulating a person's field of energy.
I think this is one of the more disturbing episodes because I think it is total bunk.
It's almost like it's a supernatural idea, that the idea that we have this life force energy that is in our body that can be manipulated rather through touching or even like waving hands over people. No evidence to support it. And you can go even further and say it's not even scientifically plausible.
Now, the show does get some things right, sort of. Specifically in the episode about female pleasure. Gwyneth gets a lesson in anatomy when she's finally taught the difference between the vagina, which is only the birth canal, and the vulva, which is everything on the outside. That's right, a spokesperson for women's wellness doesn't know the difference. Cue vagina candle.
Overall, the experts we spoke to agree that the Goop Lab is the embodiment of pseudoscience and should only be watched for entertainment purposes. And even that, they say, is a stretch.
Thanks for watching. If you want to stay up to date on the latest breaking national and international news, be sure to subscribe to our channel, where we also dig into big issues around the world in our weekly series, Global News Explains.